You know he's going to take the Tide, John. He's going to take...
Yeah.
If the Tide's there, he's going to take the Tide.
Uh,
It's like, if Tide is not banned, I just can't imagine he doesn't take it.
yeah,
We'll see.
it's something he loves. We've seen Phoenix Tide a couple of times, right? Like I think it was actually MG Trust that ran that a couple of times as well. So
Yeah.
they could opt for it. They're thinking really hard though. Like this is a lot of reserve time Fnatic's burning through, and that might cost them down the line. They're gonna have to rush through their last pick for sure, and they do have last pick overall. So you don't really want to waste too much time here in your first pick in the second phase.
Oh, okay. They go the Chen pick up here for Fnatic. Very interesting. Obviously, a very snowbally kind of support to have on your side of things. Could also be a potential off-lane Chen. I doubt it, though. And that was the hero I was about to point out, John. The Timber. Up against the Chen and the Spectre and even the Phoenix. You do not want to be up against this Timbersaw, and it is going to be a very, very fun game for Ice Ice Ice. Obviously, one of Ice Ice Ice's signature heroes coming out here. Should be a real treat to watch.
Absolutely, you do. I don't know, like you give Ice 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 something like Timbersaw, he is just gonna have. It's not just he's gonna have fun, but Fnatic's not gonna have a single ounce of fun, right? Like
No.
we know how he plays in the Timbersaw. He loves to just run around, cause havoc. You get the DP out here for Fnatic, so you do have this push that can come through with your Chen army and with the Exorcism. You are sort of constraining yourself to cooldowns, as we love to talk about when the DP pops in. So you've got Haunt and the Spectre and Exorcism that you've got to watch out for, and the early levels of Supernova as well. So there's a lot that Fnatic kind of has to plan their early game around if they want to clump up as 5. Team Dog not as constrained by those, and they do just immediately go into the QoP. So again, a mid lane matchup that isn't too bad for the Queen of Pain. Like the DP can hold her own with the Spirit Siphon, but QoP can just opt for an early level of Blink and just kind of go out, or opt to try and trade some hits, clear out the wave with her own spells.
I do give one thing to Fnatic, though. Their push potential is quite nice, right? Like, with that DP with the Chen, it is going to mean they can go fight early. Obviously, as a Spectre these days, you're looking to rush a Blade Mail, and you don't necessarily want to fight, but you can always throw that Haunt out and kind of be a part of the team fight if your team feels the necessity for that. So I do like the fact that Fnatic are trying to put a quick pace on the side of Team Dog. Only problem being, though, you are fighting into Snapfire, Timbersaw, and QoP, all of which can kind of just wave clear over and over and over again. And it can be quite hard to fight into the mid game, especially considering you are kind of relying on having that Chen army, as well as just the whole team forcing down towers. So Team Dog do already kind of have the answers here to this draft that Fnatic has brought out, and it is going to come down to these last pickups now. Of course, Team Dog, they're looking for an In Your Dream hero, just a position 1 to deal with the Spectre. And Fnatic, it does appear they are still lacking a Masaros hero. And I just can't say I'd be surprised if I saw Tidehunter pop out. I really can't imagine anything else. Good ban-outs from Team Dog, though. They get rid of the Mars and they get rid of the Beastmaster, and naturally both of them would have fit quite well, especially that Beastmaster, adding to the push, but I feel like we know what's coming.
Yep.
For Fnatic.
Should be that Tide. They do have last pick overall, so maybe they surprise us. Team Dog, though, we're looking for the In Your Dream here. I think Slark is pretty darn nice here. You've got this natural self-purge. You've got, again, a natural build-up into Silver Edge if you wanted to, if you're really worried about the spec.
Right.
Could be an option, maybe to go for a natural spell immunity hero like a Jug of their own, just to ignore the Phoenix and the DP. A lot of options they can really draft around here for IYD.
Yeah. I actually don't mind the idea of the Jug here. I think it would be quite nice. Though, hear me out. What about something like a position 1 Riki here? It doesn't seem that bad. You have plenty of ways to juke out the Spirit Siphons, the Silences. Spectre doesn't really mind going into the Riki too much, but it's not like you're going to be able to just stand there and hit away on this Riki Maru if Team Dog were able to pick it up. But no, they do go into the Jug. Well played to you, sir. Very, very nice prediction there. But now the prediction that matters. Fnatic, do they go for the Tide, or my other option is a Doom?
Between those two, I think the Tide is going to be a safer bet for Fnatic. The Doom would work out nice. I think if you were looking for push potential, the Doom can really help you just go and secure it, or stand in front, tank some hits, get some spell control. But they go with a Void Spirit instead, so they
Wow.
do surprise us here, Fnatic. They go with something a bit different. Masura's Void Spirit. Now, we have seen this a couple of times, and he can actually play that really well.
Okay.
It does leave them a bit short. You don't have any natural Phoenix combos here, Mike. No Mars, no Tide, no control. And that's one thing where Fnatic's line kind of falls flat. Their control is not the best. We're looking for Matsura's to get his own ults again, as we did see from Paulson in the last game. Ult's timing for a Void Spirit can be key to set up those kills. And Raven has just got to farm like a madman. In the first game, he was doing well on a Drow. I think if you give that same kind of farm to a Spectre, it should be a little bit more influential towards the late game. So they've got a bit more of a safety net there, Fnatic, if they do want to play a farming game.
See how it all pans out, John. Game number 2, of course, Fnatic looking to tie out this series. Team Dog, they'd love to go for a 2-0 if they could, of course. You do only have 3 more days for this group stage, so the more points you can get, the better. Pretty much any team out there. Fnatic, they are actually sitting in 4th place right now, and so is Team Dog. These two teams were tied up before today, and if they do get a draw, then they are still going to be tied at 4th. So if you are able to get a 2-0 victory here for Team Dog, you are looking at overtaking Fnatic for that 4th place spot, and I believe even the 3rd place spot up against T1 would be taken for Team Dog for now, had they gotten a 2-0 victory. But we have to wait it out and see how it pans out.
Yeah, it's really important. Again, shorter groups. It's so weird to think about that, right? Like, I look back at BTS Pro Series Season 1, 2, 3, and then Dota Summit 13. Those groups just felt like at least 3 weeks, and here we are, a bit shorter. Of course, we are packing it in for the Christmas season. We do end on the 20th, and I think you'd be hard-pressed to find teams to want to play over Christmas, Mike, especially since we have, what, like 4 Filipino teams? Yeah, they are not taking time off their Christmas break to play some Dota. No, they've got to go down, eat some food. Speaking of food, it is merienda time, which is rather unfortunate as it's in the middle here, but...
Just pause the game, boys. We understand. We'll go grab some merienda too. It's fine. Everyone can just chill out and have a bit of food. Speaking of which, John, what do you eat during Christmas in the Philippines? Like, is there a signature dish for Christmas? Like, like with the I don't know, every region has their own kind of signature dish that you eat.
Yep. I think for us it's embutido, so it's like a homemade meatloaf, sort of. It's like ground, I don't know, ground beef or ground pork mixed in. You've got some ham sprinkled in, some cheese, some raisins, and some relish. It's really good. Yeah, raisins. A little touch of raisins. We're weird. I don't know. Blame the Spanish. I always blame the Spanish. It works well.
I don't think it's weird. I mean, that's a big thing in Australia as well, actually, John. They tend to like putting raisins in things. I'm personally not the biggest fan of raisins, as Ice getting a lot of tips there. So I do believe he did manage to take the boundary away, and that does mean a 3-for-1 trade for Team Dog. So, that line. I haven't played Chen in a long time, John. I haven't heard that one before, but that's kind of cute.
Yeah, they saw Ice. He leveled Timber Chain just to get that done, so they know they've got a bit of an opportunity to bully him out, but tips out anyway. Paulson does come into relief, so you've got this beautiful dual lane, Mike, of both the mechanical heroes. Like Clockwork plus Tim, always nice to see. They are laning up against DJ and Raven. Raven's getting some good space to get his last hits, but Ice just needs to kind of sit out, wait for his level 3 spike, and then he should be able to hold a little bit better, but has to be cautious while he has this level 1 chain.
Absolutely. You don't mind it too much. It does allow you to secure CS quite nicely. He is being rather cautious, just making sure he doesn't take too much harassment from DJ.
False idolatry.
We don't see anything like a pull being made here by Paulson yet either. Looks like they are pretty satisfied with where the lane equilibrium is, and well, you can't really blame him, John. It's right in front of the tier 1 tower of the Radiant. Ice is going to hit level 2. Paulson staying outside of XP range to make sure he hits that quick. But while we're at it, we need to look at the pot lane because Masaros was getting very, very low. He had been caught out by In Your Dream and was being spun upon. Does go for the TP back towards his tier 1 tower.
Dan, this is something where Fnatic needs to be a bit cautious. Like the Void Spirit in this case doesn't necessarily has the best of times against a Jug. Blade Fear is just such a potent spell. You can try to bully Afu out, but again, it's also not the best spot for Masaros. That's down to Jabs. And Jabs has just such long cooldowns in the dive and Fire Spirits. You've got to wait for level 2 Spirits to really win out the trades. And even then, the uptime of that isn't as good as the spammable spells that Afu has.
Well, Jabs, he's going to be in trouble. A great cookie out from Afu, and Jabs, he does not have the Icarus Dive available. The Spirits will not be enough either, so In Your Dream, able to take First Blood and a courier off Masaros. This is an excellent start for this bot lane for Team Dog.
Yeah, it's just so much easier for them to play with the spell. It's like the cookie out and the spin. In Your Dream just gets so much more damage, and that's just level 1 Blade Fury. This is a level 2 Jug, pocketed skill, just level 1 spin. It's still going to do a lot of work, and Fnatic has to be a little bit more cautious. Wait for those level 3 spikes on Jabs first, and then you can look to play. They have shifted around a bit. You know, we can look at that mid lane now as well, which we haven't talked about yet. Abed up against Moon, Quap against DP, and you can see Abed just looking to play aggressive. Moon is not healthy.
Moon, he is not going to die. The Scream is only level 1, but he is going to drop extremely low, and he's going to be forced to survive by just eating a tango and sticking by that tier 1 tower for the added regen. He does have the bottle up, so he is going to be able to reset just a little bit, but you might expect a TP in from one of his teammates to give him another full bottle here as Abed. It's like he will just continue dominating the lane with these Shadow Strikes. Meanwhile, Afu getting caught out by Jabs now, does get the Scatter Blast out, but Jabs is able to take the kill quite easily on the Phoenix, and he does get a bit of revenge for himself on this Phoenix.
Yeah, it was an interesting choice there from Afu. He just decided to trade hits while under the Fire Spirits. I think he just really wanted to push himself to get Jabs away from the Power Rune. Unfortunately, he will find the regen.
Moon looks to be dead here. Afu just comes in for the kill secure, quote unquote. I don't think it was necessary from Afu, but you know, why not? If you can take it, just take it. Like Jabs is probably able to secure the Power Rune down at the bot lane, but oh, nice cookie in again from Afu. Jabs this time does have the Icarus Dive. Paulson did not have the Battery Assault to try and cancel off that Icarus Dive midway. But they are still applying a lot of pressure, Team Dog. It is making this mid lane extremely difficult for Fnatic. In fact, now Paulson, he waits around, a great cogs out on Jabs. He's dead. I can't imagine him surviving here. He actually eats a Fairy Fire and will survive just a little bit longer as Paulson keeps going, but no, Moon able to kill him off, but now Afu comes in for the Scatter Blast. Moon is going to keep the chase up with the Spirit Siphon. Afu is very, very slow right now, just trying to make a run away, but Moon, he has the Crypt Swarm. He will get a double kill for himself on the Death Prophet, and he even gets Bounty Runes down at the bot lane.
Yeah, it's a wonderful time for Fnatic. It does cost them some back and forth, but this is freeing up the side lane, so they can kind of trade with their cores as well, and they are finding these kills. You really even start here 3-3, less than 1k lead. You are giving some space to Raven, but Ice can kind of deal with a Spectre solo. It's just that Raven's still finding his farm. Down bot, while Afu is away, In Your Dream is also sort of bullying out Masaros, but this has allowed Masaros his own level spikes. So that's really the only thing that you want in the Void Spirit, and Masaros at 5, about to hit 6. Still going to be perfectly fine here. They do drag 3 heroes bot, though. Yeah,
he's not level 6 yet, John. It's going to be a dangerous time for Masaros as he tries to dissimulate away, and Paulson was a bit too early on the cogs. In Your Dream, still going for the chase. He does have boots where Masaros does not, and now goes for the spin as well. Masaros, he's in big, big trouble. Trying to juke him out, but he can knock it away. That's a great presence of mind there from In Your Dream, realizing he did not have boots in that Void Spirit. Will be able to pick himself up another kill on this Jug.
Yeah, it's a good time for him in the Jug. He hits level 6 as well, and he gets to pocket his Omni Slash. So they're in a prime spot to get some aggression out. They've got 2 range creeps here. Healing Ward drop down with a Siege creep. They could look to do some damage on that tier 1 bot.
Exorcism being popped here by Moon up at the top lane. They're going to try to Ice, but he has the chains up. They're still going to keep going with these stuns, and they actually have a lot of damage now, but Ice, chains not going to be there in time. Moon, able to get the kill. Looks like he's straight back into the mid lane. However, Masteros down at the bot lane, going to find himself in trouble once again. He's going to try and fight back up against the supports of Team Dog. I don't believe he has enough damage, but they'll go after Arfu. Still in your dream, waiting around. He does have Omni, but he is lacking the mana. With those stick charges, no, still not going to be enough. Still sticking around, gets the T1 tower. In fact, it was denied off by Masteros. In your dream, still chasing him down. Masteros now being spun upon. Sunray will be there, but in your dream, not getting the damage off in time. He walked backwards for a moment. And now, it's a bit of an awkward moment here in your dream. He will run away, but I believe he could have gotten that kill had he just kept the spin onto the Void Spirit.
Yeah, he missed like a couple of ticks. That would have been enough to drag him down. They get the deny off as well, so Fnatic's in a pretty decent spot. Like, their Exorcism didn't secure them in Tier 1, but the Tier 1 they lost doesn't really give a gold advantage out, so they get to hold on to mid and maybe force a fight here.
That they do. Arbed gonna blink away. Looking for that 8-minute power rune now. Moon is gonna head towards the western power rune, but it is not going to be there. It is going to be down at the bot lane. Still jabs. It's going to be a little just cut off Arbed. He does have the Icarus snipe available if he does need it, but jabs didn't throw it out in time. Meanwhile, Raven does kill off Arfu on the Snapfire. So, couple kills going on across the map. Jabs, he held out a bit long on that Icarus snipe, perhaps wanting to try and bait out the Sonic Wave. He did get it out, but Arbed, he'll be happy with the kill.
Yep, you do find a fairly interesting back and forth trade. I think the kill going to Raven is a little bit more important though. So the Spectre finding a free kill like that while farming the jungle is going to be a bit painful because you didn't manage to get some vision down that jungle as well. So a bit of a costly mistake by Afu. He was going on a ward run solo, and Raven's going to be happy with a freebie. Doesn't quite compensate for trading away for finding that kill on the Phoenix. They do manage to get some space down mid once more, but again, very stubborn Fnatic, although DJ might be a bit deep in the details.
Oh, he's in trouble. Paulison, did you see that, John? Just cutting through the tree line very nicely, making his own pathway through the trees, and DJ was definitely not expecting that one out from Paulison. That'll give Arbed his second kill of the game now in this Queen of Pain. And while you've pointed out that Raven is farming very nicely, if his team continues to lose towers like this again, it could be quite detrimental. Still, bot lane, I believe they are going to try to Ice, and they will. The Haunt in with the Astral Step out, Ice. He will drop an Arfu, is also going to be another victim. Moon will get a double kill, and will start pushing down that bot tier 1 tower. In fact, they do back off.
It cost them 2 bodies to stop that push, but those are 2 good kills going away Fnatic. So static on objectives, they are finding kills. Not very worthwhile considering that they are behind all them.
He doesn't have Astral Steps available, but he will be, or maybe not. The urn is out. I believe he's going to tick out here.
Oh boy, yeah.
No, the bottle comes out from Moon.
Boy.
Just in time. He was on less than 20 HP. And there was 1 tick of the urn left. But Moon does come in with the clutch bottle charge, and it will be enough.
Yeah, it's going to be counting his stars there, Maseros. Still, they are going to get jumped again mid.
Arbed, silent stop, does have help there from Arfu with the cookie and Scatterblast in Moon. He may have gone too far. Sonic Wave was unnecessary, but it does get thrown out nonetheless. Does end up being a 1-for-1 trade. It's going to be much more worthwhile, though, for the side of Team Dog.
Yeah, it's a great pickup because they do manage to kill off. They kill off Moon again, so they free themselves of that DP. Arbed can be enjoying just having that slight advantage over the Death Prophet.
Paulison.
And a hook.
Oh, great hook shot out. Paulison setting up another kill out for Arbed, and he just waited for that perfect moment, and of course Arbed, with that maxed out Scream, did have more than enough damage to kill off this Void Spirit.
Yeah, it's a big spike having Paulson hit that 6, and he's just been so active on the map already. Having the hook allows him to target a lot better, And you're going to have to watch your spacing there, and they do manage to finally commit for that mid-tier 1. So Fnatic, even though they've got this push trap, with the DP, with the Chen, they still have yet to find a tier 1, and losing your mid and your top and your bot tier 1, all of your tier 1's gone from Fnatic, that's going to hurt them in their farm. Like, they still have control of their triangle, but there are some wards out, and Team Dog now, with all these objectives down, can start to hunt even deeper and start to punish that Spectre that's just free farming.
That they certainly can. Even with the Blade Mail, In Your Dream is still ahead in terms of farm, and in all fairness, In Your Dream doesn't even have the Battle Fury up yet. It's going to be maybe a minute away from that. Very, very nice timing from our Jug. While that's happening, a smoke up now from Team Dog. They're going to go into that dire jungle and try to spot out a core hero here, and they have found out a big one, but the hook shot going to be completely off. Moon just stood still and just accepted his fate, but it did not land. Still, they have the cookie out. They will be able to take the kill thanks to Arfu with those Mortimer's kisses. It's straight up to the top lane. Abed, he has Sonic Wave up in 5 seconds. They'd love to pick off Raven, but they do just jump in and clear out the creep wave. Raven should be just fine to stick around and defend that tier 2 tower. Maybe not. Abed, he's going to jump in again. Do they have a cookie in time? They do. Arfu, he lands it, and the scream is going to come out. Abed picking up another. I did not think that was going to be in time, but it was.
That's rather unfortunate. Like, they're trying to make a move on Ice seeing those heroes. This is Timbersaw, though.
It is, but they do have Moon around. With the Exorcism being popped again, Ice. They get hit by that 8th Remnant. With the Sunray, he is going to melt. And mind you, John, with this this heavy push lineup, Fnatic are still yet to take a tier 1 tower at 13.5 minutes in. So they are still going after that bottom tier 1 tower. And it's a nice kill onto Ice, and they do finally get the tier 1, but it's been a long time coming.
It's taken them way too long. That's like Moon's third Exorcism, and the first one that finally leads to the tower. The trade of Timbersaw for Spectre is not the best. You really don't want to drop Raven there. Perfectly happy for Team Dog to go for that kind of trade. They've gotten space out for Dog to keep farming, and they might be able to force something out here.
Oh, Abed, he'd be a big pick-off. They commit the X-Train off the bat. Abed, he does not have the blink up. Oh, it's a great kill there from Fnatic, and now they move in for more. They saw Paulson around, but Paulson, he will get the cogs off and he will back off. Abed, he doesn't sound too annoyed about that death on the Quap, but it was definitely a very valuable kill to find for this dire side.
It's going to open up that mid-tier 1 for them to start pushing on Fanatics. And Ice is going to TP in, but does melt very
quick. Be careful. That Sunray does a lot of damage out, and he's still moving forward. Needs to chain away Paulson. Gonna hook shot in. A great cogs out, but Masseros still on the chase. Ice. He's able to just chain away. DJ being chased down. Abed, a quick Sonic Wave out of the Quap, going after Jabs, and Jabs, he'll pretty much be the only one to die right now. DJ gonna go for the quick TP away, and he's gonna be just fine. There's Abed gonna try and go for a bit more, but Moon does manage to move away quick enough on the Death Prophet. And so it's only going to end up being a Phoenix kill here for Team Dog. And I suppose the other positive is that they do defend that tier 1 mid tower.
Yeah, I mean, holding on to that does still give a big piece of map control advantage towards Team Dog. They're not quite done. Looks like they might be hunting Moon, but they're not completely aware of where he is. Looks like Moon should be able to TP home safely. Still, they have been making forays deep into the jungle. The battlefield for In Your Dream is big, although he is alone.
Oh, In Your Dream, he gets silenced up. I don't believe they'll have enough damage to take him out just with that one silence, and they won't. With that Battle Fury you pointed out, John, he's going to start really escalating in terms of farm now. And these Jugs, in this current patch, they do need quite a lot of farm to be as effective as they used to be. But once they get to that stage where they have that farm up, it can be a very nervous time for Fnatic.
Definitely. Like, the Ags, once it's up, you're not constrained by your ult anymore.
Hook shot.
Play with while that's animal.
They got Moon in that hook shot. Cogs are there. Paulson will chase him down with the battery assault, and Abed does jump in as well. Moon very, very low, but he does survive. The Sunrays out Jabs. He keeps him up. Abed looking to maybe jump back in. He does, but the Scream is not going to connect, and Moon still ticking out to the Shadow Strike, but the Egg is there. The Aether Remnant not going to make it in time. They cannot punish the Queen of Pain. Moon, I'm not sure if he had the Yules up to cancel the TP, but he did not want to risk his life for that. He will make it away scot-free.
Oh,
Meanwhile,
that was such a nervous play. Ooh.
He's going to be all right, John. You were saying.
Such a nervous play on the end there. They did manage to win out the trade because they pop out the Egg. That is a fairly long cooldown, a minute 10, but that's not up. So they could choose to do something here. They've got Omni Slash ready. They've got the Sonic Wave ready as well. They can start forcing out objectives. Ice has gotten enough space to clear out that top tier 2 as the Timber Saw. So again, more objectives going away with Team Dog. And Paulson.
He's going to be in a bit of danger here. Paulson getting caught out by the Aether Remnant. Abed is going to be around, and he is going to force them back a little bit, and so is Ice. They'll start chipping away at Massaros. A lot of creeps around Abed, but he had plenty of help around. And DJ is going to lose all his army. Trying to run away. A great hook shot out though. Paulson landing on 2 with the cogs just blocking the staircase, but Raven does come in after Arthur. Meanwhile, Abed, a massive Sonic Wave into the Omni Slash of In Your Dream. They do find 3 of them onto DJ now. He's just trying to run away, but he will also be a victim of In Your Dream's junk. And that's just great play out once again from Team Dog. Fnatic, I mean, they found the supports, John, but that is just not enough to feel worthwhile.
No, definitely not. And this is where the Jug really starts to shine here. It's got an earlier spike compared to our Spectre. Omni Slash is much higher impact in terms of actually killing off multiple heroes. They get the bounces off, the Battle Fury is doing all the work, they've got the Yasha in, the Manta style is almost done, so the silence coming through from Abed's not going to be too much of a concern now. From Moon, it's not going to be too much of a concern now once you have this form of self-dispel. And the control for Fnatic, which we pointed out as a potential issue, is starting to really pop out here. they've got to be a bit cautious, although In Your Dream's a bit deep.
Jabs. It's a lot of damage out very quickly. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, who have they caught there? It's going to be Ice once again. He does end up going down on that Timber, and they do ping out the mid lane, but the T1 tower's already gone. And I'll tell you what, John, that's one thing that Ice has been really good at over his career is forcing out space and spells from the opposite team. They are going to still find out the Jug. In Your Dream, going to try and spin away, but Moon is going to be alright. And now Paulson hook shots in to make sure this Death Prophet cannot go any more forward. Kisses are going to be cancelled off by Massaros, and they do get Paulson. In Your Dream, however, does manage to get out of there.
It's better that you lose Paulson that way than In Your Dream for sure. They are down Kisses though, so it's going to be a while until Team Dog will look to maybe force something out. It's going to be a minute and a half for them. That could be a window for Fnatic to start playing some games here. They will have Haunt a bit earlier if they want to. A bit reckless. In Your Dream was just constantly forcing out the outpost. He loses it anyway, right before the 20-minute mark, so they're not going to get anything from that exchange. Just a bit too eager there. But if it did pay off, then they would have increased that snowball for sure.
That they would have. In Your Dream goes for the Roshan play now. Abed going to be there to help him out. It's not going to be the fastest Roshan in the world, but they can eventually get it done. Especially if it is not spotted out by Fnatic, and it doesn't look like they do realize. They are just hanging out in the dire triangle right now. So this is looking to be a very free Roshan for Team Dog. Which is definitely bad news for Fnatic as... Well, now they scan it out, but it's way too late. Roshan going to go down, and Aegis will be picked up by In Your Dream. Fnatic, it seemed like they were kind of thinking maybe a smoke was coming their way, but that was not the case.
Yeah, a bit of a missed opportunity. Again, they have had their spells up for a little bit longer. They just didn't have vision around the pit. They don't have the best of control there. No wards in that area, so it's something Team Dog can really just manipulate. There is a 3k lead now on Team Dog as well, and you're just seeing the farm effect of a Jug up against a Spectre. Like the Spectre Blade Mill, it's nice. it just doesn't really compare to a Battle Fury carrier, so it's still always going to be slower. They are looking to hunt though. They are grouped up on that bot jungle, and they might be able to get a move on this tier 2. They are risking a lot of space up top. Like, that tier 3 is just being chipped away by the creep wave, and one of these heroes could easily just choose to shove in that tower and get a little bit more damage in.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like Fnatic, they're just going to focus in on that bot tier 2 now, and for now they're uncontested, but Ice look to chain in Masaros. He had a quick Yules out, the Aether Remnant, and now the Sunray. Ice is going to go down. Nice pickup for Fnatic once again. And that'll be Fnatic getting that tier 2 for free. Meanwhile, In Your Dream will go up towards the top lane and start forcing out that tier 3 tower, and that will at least get a glyph out, but he's not really planning to back off too quick. He does go back for the wave, still Fnatic doing the exact same thing, but now the hookshot does come out from Polison, and Abed is going to be there. Kisses are going to be expended, but the Yules are going to be out from our Death Prophet and the Sunray, but the Omni does come in, and it's a lot of damage, but it's gone through the army. Abed, Sonic Wave out, does kill off Moon. Now the Haunt is in from Raven, but he's just trying to get himself away from that. Meanwhile, Masaros going after In Your Dream. Can't finish him off. He will be able to get out. Jabs going for the egg, but In Your Dream going to run back in with the little shredder out from Arfu. They do kill off the egg. Back onto Raven. Spirit Vessel there from Arbit. Masaros holding them all back with a huge astral step. And Raven, he is eventually going to be able to TP away in the tree line. Definitely not a very good team fight though for Fnatic, as they do lose 2 for nothing. That'll mean that Team Dog can't get these lanes pushed out.
Yeah, and they get to just stick back together. They still hold the Aegis. They did pop Omni Slash, so that's going to be down for a bit longer. Sonic Wave as well. Not the shortest cooldowns, although
they had a hook shot up, but they saw Moon TPing in, and DJ was just behind. They go after Arfu, but now the hook shot perfect from Polison. In fact, did I say Polison? I did mean Polison. He, not allowing any further spells to be used up. Hookshot was very nicely timed here from our Clockwork.
I love that he's rushing this Ags as well in his clock. So you're going to have that refresh for the overclock. You're going to be able to just run in, get more hooks off, get more control off. It's been a wonderful game for Paulson, just setting up for his team. Fnatic in comparison, like, you're looking at the progress of Jabs. It's not as fast. He's rushing a BKB just to ensure that he's not going to be melted before he can use his spells. It's just such a slow build-up in comparison. This is him with the Philosopher's Stone as well. So they're going to need to find that farm elsewhere, but it's just so hard when you're investing so deeply into this Spectre. It just tends to become that farm vacuum. Look at the gap between Raven and his own cores. Not even his gap with Abed or with In Your Dream, but the gap between Moon and Raven is already really big. And you look at Masters as well, way below that. It's just becoming all about one hero here for Fnatic, so they need to hold on until that hero is big enough to carry him.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely getting scary now as well, because In Your Dream does have a full MKB up out of nowhere. Just buys it outright. And with that MKB, of course, his damage just skyrockets now. Yeah, added attack speed going to be very nice for that Omni Slash as well. Fnatic, they need to start trying to find an answer for this side of Team Dog. Of course, you can always look to just drag out the game because you do have a Spectre, but I don't think it's going to be that easy for them. Still In Your Dream, getting caught by an Aether Remnant, and a massive Sonic Wave out, but the Aegis is going to expire. DJ getting very low, is going to go down straight away. Meanwhile, In Your Dream dropping low again, gets silenced up. He can't get the Omni off in time. Now they jump in. Masaros gets another. It's going to be Polison down. Arfu left over, but he is also going to die. It's all based off an Aether Remnant that was left there by Masaros. They allow In Your Dream to walk into it, and oh, it's going to be a great team fight there for Fnatic.
Oh, it definitely is. They can't really transition that to too much. They might look to shove mid. Team Dog did make a big mistake. Like, we didn't see Paulson manage to use that hook shot. He was just blocked off the entire time, that choke point. They need the Clockwork to kind of find their openings. I mean, they could try to jump in with Abed first, but Abed did not go for anything like an Orchid, so their control is actually the clock coming in. And if Paulson can't find that angle, the fight is just really hard to get their way. So Fnatic can be really happy with the result of the smoke on smoke. Does give him a little bit more breathing room. The lead is still on Team Dog's side, but it's not as big as it once was.
The main issue I'm seeing, though, is they're not really able to find any objectives off that team fight. In fact, Moon now is going to get caught out up at that top lane. He'll clear out the creep wave. BKB up in a couple seconds. He could try, but it looks like it's way too late. He's just going to accept the fact that he is dead. Raven, however, does kill off Ice 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 again. So they do get a nice trade for themselves. I'd say Moon's life is a bit more valuable, though, on that mid-death profit. So Ice, he's died many times this game, and it's kind of become his role, right? Just take the attention away from the rest of his team, and if he dies, he dies.
Yeah, he's not too scared about being up front below. Paulson again onto Jabs.
Nice hook shot. The Aghanim Scepter there with another Cox pushback, with Jabs is still not dead, but it looks like he doesn't really have a way out of that one. That's something you were pointing out a bit earlier on, but you do have a lot more control now with this Aghanim Scepter clockwork up.
Yeah, you've got so much more opportunities here for Paulson to go for their solo pickoffs. Again, very important because this clockwork is pretty much their sole initiator. Abed just can't get that same control out until he hits his 25 talent with a fear. So it's going to be a while until the Quap can kind of help Paulson in this department. That does give a bit of the lead back the way of Dog. They're back to 4K up, 20-19 here. Fnatic still finding some really good farm on Raven. Number 2 net worth, just about 2K behind In Your Dream, so it's not too bad. You do need a lot more to come out in Raven. Like, he's got the Scotty up, he's had his Manta style up for a while, clears out a nice set of stacks, and is saving up for his Basher into what looks to be a Moonshard. So let's see if he sticks to that path or opts for a finished up. Abyssal, they do smoke up behind him. They have Haunt ready, they could look for a kill.
Yeah, they're looking for a bait play here with Raven. So they give up on that. Masteros, he pops a DD rune now, and they're going to head down towards that bot lane, where they seem to know that Ice 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 is hanging around somewhere. Looks like he's going to be alright, though, for now. He's just walking through the tree line. Fnatic don't seem to be aware of where he is. In fact, they will reveal they are smoked up as well, so Ice definitely not going to show himself now. Just going to stick around in that tree line and make sure he is not caught out. You know, John, the one point where I get really concerned for Raven in this game is when In Your Dream does have the Ags plus the Silver Edge up, which he is working towards right now. It's going to be a very concerning point for the Spectre, as Ice does now get caught out. He eventually did show himself. He's trying to chain away, but Moon is on the chase and does get the silence off, as well as Masteros going to be there. But Ice, again, just buying himself time, chaining the other way. Has another one. Gets away again. The silence not going to be enough. Where do you chain to this time? He gets used up, but do they have the stun control? They will with one Centaur, and they will take him out. Another nice kill there for the side of Fnatic. It does cost them all 5 heroes to get that done, but they do eventually get it done.
Yep, it's still a pickup. I'm not sure how worthwhile it is anymore to punish Ice 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 like this. Like, you lose a lot of map control. You saw how far that top lane was being shoved out by Paulson. They're getting some free farm here on In Your Dream. Really approaching that Ags time you mentioned, like just about 600 gold off, so they've got to be cautious. They do smoke up though, but Team Dog, they're very cautious and pull out of that triangle.
That they do. You definitely want to try and avoid fighting if you're Team Dog up until the Ags is available on In Your Dream. Just such a big power spike for the Jug. I mean, after that, the Silver Edge, of course, going to be an even bigger power spike, especially up against Raven Spectre. Raven looks like he's just trying to work into a Basher and a Moonshard of all things, but there is one objective they can go for, and that is going to be the Rose Shard. So the question is, are Team Dog going to allow them to take this for free? Do they even know it's happening? Well, now they do. The Rocket Flare does come in, but Masteros doing what he does best. Holding everyone else back, just making space, but the rest of his team are going to come in now. They go into Paulson. A massive Sonic Wave out again, but Raven does commit the Haunt. He kills off one into Arfu, but he's going to be able to walk away. Paulson, he did buy back on that clockwork. Fnatic, I don't believe they'll be able to go back into that Roshan pit for now. They'll have to leave it be. They do still hold the Exorcism on Moon. Now going to go for a bit of a smoke play. Fu gonna break it up. Aether Remnant gonna lock him down. He has the kisses, but he's gonna die before he can commit them. He will also have buyback on that Snapfire. But in your dream, that's a very big target if they could kill him off. Abed is gonna be there to zone them out. Everyone's gonna be fine for now. Fnatic, do they go for this Roshan play? Looks like the answer's going to be yes. They're going to give it a shot. Hook shot is going to be there. Who have they caught out? It's going to be Masaros on that Void Spirit, but the Hand of God is going to be there to heal him up. In your dream, Omni not going to be there in time. Masaros gets away. DJ copying a lot of damage, but it is still not enough. He has the Swift Slash, but they have to kill off this egg first, and they do get it, but now in your dream, he's way too low. Masaros does kill him off on the Void Spirit, and now they need to really run away as Abed is very low on that quab. The Snapfire Arfu does go down as well. And that is a very, very poor team fight here for Team Dog. As Fnatic now can go back in for this Roshan play. Ice gets some vision up with that Chakram, but he's been Yulesed up. And he has also been silenced up, and he is going to die. More deaths going the way of Team Dog. Abed even going to jump in now, but the silence again from Masaros, holding him down for a second, forcing the blink away. Roshan so darn low. Masaros still chasing him down. They do kill him off with jabs there on the Phoenix. Meanwhile, towards the south, they found Polison on the clockwork. He'll go for a TP play. They have no way to cancel. He will be alright, but this Roshan is certainly going the way of Fnatic.
Yeah, it's such a drawn-out fight. Fnatic does win out in the end. Did try to see a sneaky play there by Afu, trying to get his courier to snipe something. Doesn't pick up anything in the end. But Fnatic now swing this game on its heel. 4K up, 21-26. Take a look at Dota Plus. You can see that dive there, Mike. That's when things went wrong there for Team Dog. They went in one by one. The hook shots weren't amazing. The Omni into Yules here was just really where it fell apart. In Your Dream needs to get a good use of his Omni, of his Swift Slash. If he doesn't, then Fnatic really just has a lot of presence. They've got all this heals coming into play to hold up a Spectre. He does have the Basher, and the Basher is also doing a lot of work here. They're just getting the control and the damage through. And Team Dog, they're not out of it yet. I think they've got to wait for a couple of spikes now. They need level 25 on Abed. They need that fear, because putting all their control on their clockwork is just not the way forward. Like, there's only so much Paulson can actually do for your entire team when he wants to hold down 5 heroes. He can only hold down 2 at best.
That is true. Masaros having a look over at Polison. He doesn't realize he's there yet. Polison didn't either. Masaros, he does have a step. Jab's going to be there to help him out, and they do use up the clock into an Aether Remnant now. Polison, he does not have the optional hook shot anymore. He's been silenced up, and he is going to die. A nice setup here from our Void Spirit as Arfu even hanging around, but Jabs has pinged him out now. Arfu going to have to make a run for it. Masaros kills off Abed across the map. And Jabs is still chasing down Arfu, but Arfu is going to be fine to walk away from this one. I did not quite catch how Abed died, though.
Yeah, it looks like they did manage to clump up. They do get the Swift Flash and In Your Dream onto Jabs. So they find that in exchange. Still not the ideal trade, though. Like, you definitely are still winning out in Fnatic. They do want to swap tips. They do send them out, but you can see the high ground now under siege. Fnatic, what's going to stop them? It's 3-on-4.
Reset. Jabs. Reset BBCD. Jabs. That may not have been meant for all chat, but there you go. Rack's going to be there in the mid lane, going down very quick to the exorcism out from Moon. It's pretty hard to stop this when you don't have all 5 heroes, and In Your Dream, going to use the Swift Slash. Not going to be anywhere near enough to slow it down, and Fnatic, of course, are very happy with that one lane of barracks. They will back off, and they are going to run into Arfu, who's trying to force Staff away, but now he's just stuck. He's buying himself time. His team is around, but there's just no way out of this one. He is definitely going to die. They even drop a healing wall to try and help him out, but that was not going to do the job.
True, man. It's getting really difficult. Like, the 6K lead for Fnatic isn't huge, but the fact that they're 1 racks up with this lineup, and their Spectre's already bouncing back in. Like this 2k gap that's been consistent between Raven and In Your Dream. Now at 36 minutes
shot.
isn't as big, although.
They found out Moon with a great hook shot out. Masaros, he's around. Raven even going to haunt in. They are going to go straight after Abed again. He has no way to purge off this silence. His Yules was used up. In fact, never mind, it was not. It was there, but it's just too late. Moon able to get the kill. And now, looks like Jabs has found out Paulison. Paulison also going to die. And well, once again, John, these heroes do not have buyback.
It's just so awkward for Team Dog. They're coming out one by one. They're getting picked off one by one as well. Abed just his only defensive tool is Yules, which is just not enough when you've got so much control on the side of Fnatic. They have Exo Assistant back up and they're diving Fountainish.
Masaros does catch out the snap again. Arthur cannot be that far out of his fountain apparently. And they're looking at tier 4 towers. They know the buybacks aren't there, so with this exorcism timing, they'll just keep going, and there's plenty of time here on Moon with this ulti. It's a very, very difficult defense to go for as now Masaros jumping in after the junk, but lets him go. There is a Swift Slash and an Omni Slash being committed, but DJ surviving, pops all the heals. They do get one support, but now their Ancient is exposed. And Masaros just jumping in after In Your Dream. They commit the egg. Paulson trying to take it out ASAP. He's doing a good job of it, but he's been used up. He will not get it in time. He is going to go down, and GG has been called by Abed. They have had enough. This game too is over, and it is going to end up in a 1-1. And so these two teams are going to be stuck in a draw for that 4th place spot for now.
Yeah, a really even series overall. I think even game 1 was fairly close to a point, and it just kind of fell apart. In this case, Team Dog, it started going in one by one. Their fights were a bit too split out. They really put all their eggs into Paulson to start these fights. Like Ice as well didn't have the best Timbersaw game, but I don't think that was a big issue. Like he's 0-8. He was buying the space out for his team. The issue was it was all down to Paulson. Like I'm not saying it was Paulson's fault. It's that the draft really had the shortcoming there, where the only long-range way they had to start these fights were hook shots. Afu did not manage to farm up his ag, so he didn't have the gobble-up place, and Abed opted for a very defensive build-up in the Quap. So once Fnatic saw that, once they found a couple of kills, they just built up, and well, Raven carried him through in the end.
That they did. Of course, with that, John, that was series number 1. We do have 3 more series to go for tonight. And the next one coming up is going to be TNC versus Execration. As you like to call it, John, it's time for the Rambulan coming up.
Oh, yes.
Don't go anywhere. Of course, we'll be back for our online Rambulan between TNC and Execration. And it is, of course, MLP and johnxfire joining you tonight. We'll see you all again in about 10 minutes for our next series of the night. See you soon.